people about to get sued?
I don't even know what to think about that. It's a little too late for that. The damage is already done. It's, worldwide. Now there's comments all over. There's, disrespect towards Native Americans and towards my family.
I want to give you a bit of an update on this situation surrounding the young Kansas City Chiefs fan who turned out to have Native American blood that was attacked by liberal woke journalist Carron Phillips. Of course, some people are having fun with this and putting nice little memes up like this and giving Carron the Carron haircut. Once again, to all those ladies out there who are named Carron, I apologize first and foremost. I'm pretty sure that 99.9% of those that are named Carron, I'm pretty sure you are not actual, honest-to-God Karens in the sense of which, by the way, we use that term. So, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know that this child was, of course, blamed for blackface when obviously half of his face was black and the other half was red. The initial reporting was that the little boy was 9 years old, and then it came out and said that he was 5, and then it came out and said that he was 9 years old again. Very weird. Either way, though, I probably should have waited before actually announcing the actual age of this child, but still at the same time, a lot of people have been apologizing for actually attacking this child. I'll be leaving this video here in the description box for you guys, but I'm not just going to be talking about this case. I'm also going to be talking about the previous video that I made because there's some additional information that came out on the whole Kyle Rittenhouse Piers Morgan situation that will come up a little bit later on in the video because I'm pretty sure the two, when you actually think about it, are actually linked. But one of the things we're going to be discussing is there actually defamation here? Is there an actual case for defamation? There's 4 little keys that you quite frankly have to reach to, you have to actually prove to get that. And of course, the child, his family has been attacked by Dan Le Batard. The child has also been bothered by Carron Phillips. And of course, Deadspin as a whole and just about every single woke network or woke magazine out there that's been going around. There's also been some that have actually turned on some of these woke corporations and some of these woke institutions that have been writing about this incident. But let's just say that the boy and his father decided to go on Fox News and they decided to talk to Jesse Waters. Now, guys, really quick, before we get started, and I'm probably going to say this in the second video that I'm going to be using because we're going to be dealing with the story out of New York City immigration and, of course, the situation where you've now got protests at Rockefeller Center of all places. I want to go ahead and kind of address this now. There's a thing with YouTube called copyright. For example, I just got a copyright claim levied on one of my videos that I released 2 days ago. It was a situation out of Chicago, and it was WGN who tried to lay it on you. Now, me, I will fight copyright claims if I think that I've got a strong case. In this particular case, I did, in fact, fight it. But, of course, they moved it from monetized to escrow, which means that WGN would collect some of the ad revenue off that video, and then they turn right back around and reinstated the copyright. Now, this channel right here, of course, is a commentary channel. So whenever I use news sources and respond to them or react to them, it is being done in under the guise of fair use. That meaning that I'm obviously utilizing this stuff to present a news story, and some news corporations are better than others. Fox News, surprisingly, happens to be one of the best ones when it comes to copyright. That is, of course, unless you're live reacting to something like, say, one of the debates, or the debate that they're having not between Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis. I have no idea why the hell they're doing that there. American Psycho versus Meatball, if you ask me. That'll be coming up in video number 2. The thing is this right here. Obviously, some networks are better about it than others. The New York Daily News, for example, all the outlets that come out of New York, all the things that come out of Chicago, for example, for the most part, they do typically tend not to actually copyright you. And, of course, they do a better job of covering the situation, what's going on there, than the national media itself. I just figured I'd go ahead and address that. Of course, WGN is a Chicago-based network, but for whatever reason, they got this serious weed up their rears about commentators commenting on the stuff that they're reporting. Very, very strange organization. I don't understand it. I have no idea why the hell they would do that. You figure they would probably get more subscribers and more exposure if people were actually reporting from their outlet. But with that rather being said, let's go ahead and get back to this topic. So, the man and his son obviously went on Jesse Waters, and this right here is some of
through your mind the second you found out your son had been targeted like this.
It's been a lot. It's been a pretty crazy couple of days. I was mad, upset, upset for him. Mad that he's upset. He's pretty devastated. I mean, he's seen the videos and everything posted. He's excited. He's all over. It was his dream to get on the Jumbotron. And I've had family and friends call and, oh, we saw you on Sunday Night Football. So he's excited. But then everything else came up, and it's been a little bit of a spiral.
Holden, how are you feeling right now?
It's okay because a lot of kids at school are getting excited, but it's starting to get me a little nervous because if they go a little bit overboard, it's a little scary.
I bet it's scary. It can be a very overwhelming experience. How has the community been in terms of support?
Okay. So far.
Good. And you're a football guy, right? Don't you have practice in a few
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah, we're getting ready to head out the door for all-star practice. You know, I don't even know what to think about that. It's a little too late for that. The damage is already done. It's, worldwide. Now there's comments all over. There's, disrespect towards Native Americans and towards my family. We never in any way, shape, or form meant to disrespect any Native Americans or any tribes. The tribe we're from doesn't even wear that type of headdress. This specific headdress is a novelty piece. It's a costume piece. That's exactly what we had purchased it for and wore it for.
Basically, being on the Jumbotron and all the little kids that you go to school with, they think to themselves, this right here is really, really cool. But of course, the child, like most little kids who have good parents, would not know that they're being attacked because obviously their children would, in fact, protect them. I don't know how he's going to look at this later on in life when he's like a teenager or something like that. But then again, though, if his family does, in fact, sue and they do, in fact, win, it may not matter because, well, they'll be rich and I guess nobody else will care. It seemed to me like these are people who are just going to let this entire situation go. I remember the whole Nicholas Salmon thing and, of course, all the money that he got. Kyle Rittenhouse will be coming up here soon because I did make a video about his interview with Piers Morgan yesterday. I'll link it in the description box. And there's obviously a couple of things that have came out that I left out in that video, but I'm going to be talking about in this video here. So it makes me think automatically that basically what he's saying is that, look, the damage has been done. You've humiliated me. You've humiliated my family. The Kansas City Chiefs organization, by the way, is probably going to give this kid free tickets. So maybe there's something that something good that may come out of it right off the bat. They're going to be at the Packers game on Sunday night, and of course he's going to be in the front row with a lot of other Chiefs fans who are going to be wearing black and red, of course, on their faces to show solidarity with the child, who, by the way, was wearing a headdress that was actually a Halloween costume, as what his father just said. Now, the thing that you have to understand in this online world is that these people don't care who they go after. They go after children. This is who these people really and truly are. They go after kids. They don't care who their target is, and I've always believed that wives and children should be left off limits. That is unless, of course, the wife is an absolute hag herself and she's causing a problem, but still at the same time, children should be off limits. But then again, as I've said on multiple occasions, these are the same type of people who go after the unborn, so it should not surprise you that they actually did this. However, in the deranged manner that Mr. Carron Phillips did, and the fact that he decided he wanted to double down on this, as you guys will hear here in after the next segment, it's really baffling exactly how low these people in our society have really and truly become, especially given the fact that the internet is so powerful that it's worldwide. It reaches everywhere in the world. Initially there you got a young child, obviously wearing Kansas City Chiefs gear. It would be the same exact thing, say if you, I mentioned this in the previous video, if you're wearing like a Pittsburgh Steelers attire, you paint your face black, maybe you put some gold on. Same thing with Raiders fans, same thing with Panther fans. They have black in their logo, of course, black, blue, and silver. Of course, you could go black and gold when it comes to Steelers. You could go black, gold, and blue, or black, gold, and red, however you want to go, depending, because the helmet itself, of course, you've got multiple colors you can choose from. The thing is this right here, when you wear team colors, it's not exactly, how do I say, out of bounds to dress up in the team's colors. which makes this entire situation so very cheap. Now, I said in the previous video that it was demonic and it was pure evil, which, by the way, it is. For the most part, it's the banality of evil because these people have lived a certain way, and now they've gotten to the point where they rely on the internet for just about everything. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, my God, you're on the internet too. Yes, I am on the internet, and of course, next year, the content is going to transition more into essay-type format, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of it. Of course, I'm going to be spreading the channels out because there's a lot of other things I want to do that have to do with what's going on today and how things relate, movies, sports, history, things like that there. But of course, we'll talk more about that towards the end of the year when we get to Christmas, when I actually shut down for a few days or possibly even a week, depending on the circumstances. But the thing is this right here. After hearing what you heard there, and of course, I let it run for a little bit longer than normal, you got to ask yourself a question. Are lawsuits coming? Let's talk about that. Those 4 little things that you quite frankly need for a defamation suit. Number 1, false statement. So that one right there seems to be pretty obvious. Now, guys, I'm not a lawyer or anything. However, this right here is the 4 initial things that you would need for a defamation suit. And of course, attorneys may have different rules that they go off of. I'm just giving you what the Google machine says. So, false statement. Okay. This was obviously a false statement. The child was not racist. He was just simply wearing team colors. Of course, there was the black side and, of course, the red side, which I think was kind of cheap how they did this, because I'm pretty sure if they had waited and stuck around for more photos, then obviously shooting from the hip would not have been necessary, and they could have left this entire story alone. Number 2, purported to a third party. Well, let's see. You printed the article. You posted it. You did not take it down. It's been shared all over Facebook and Twitter and all over social media. And people on YouTube have, of course, reported on this. Some platforms, obviously much, much larger than mine, have been able to comment on this situation. So it's pretty much out in the open. It's been exposed to just about anybody and everybody in the world. So everybody pretty much knows about the story, and obviously people are going to be sending screen recordings, screenshots, stuff like that have probably been sent to the family. They probably took care of it right away. It probably occurred the very next morning when they actually found out about things. They probably found out on their own local news, which we'll talk about in a second, because Charlie Arnott, she went on Jesse Waters and spoke about this stuff also at length as well. The thing is this right here, though. This entire situation to me is absolutely crazy because of how irresponsible it was. Now, Deadspin is obviously liable. Carron Phillips is obviously going to be liable in this case. Dan Le Batard, I don't think you're going to be able to get him on anything. But then again, though, I just think that idiot just simply losing his job altogether would probably be enough. But then we get 4 actually the toughest ones. I think 3 is one that sounds like these people were obviously pretty negligent in their reporting of the situation. They just casually, nonchalant went about this and just kind of went through it. Which, by the way, that may be where they might get Le Batard at, because he was very, very, very stupid about the things that he said. Then, of course, you get to number 4, damages, reputation, damages to one reputation. Well, seeing how it is that the boy's father sits on the board for a Native American tribe, it may have actually damaged the tribe itself, or it may have damaged their reputation. We don't know exactly how far it went. But then again, though, the wokes also don't know when to stop. That's kind of how these people are. Which brings me to Charlie Arnott, because she made some extremely good points about this when she had her conversation with Jesse Waters on the situation, because as many of you guys know, this entire situation just screams stupid.
Even alluded to it. People go all out there.
They go nuts.
To see people with full body paint, headdresses on, doing the tomahawk chop, which also, by the way, the left has tried to cancel, saying that it's another form of racism. It's just commonplace in Kansas City. What this boy did, he did absolutely nothing wrong. I didn't wake up this week thinking, you know what, I need one more piece of evidence of how deranged and delusional the leftist media is. But here we are. We have it, and yet they have taken it to another level. Who would have thought they could have done it?
They had the one guy's face. He had black near the eyes. Okay, so there's the eyes. Is that wrong? Can you not do that? Can there not be... I mean, this guy is clearly trying to imitate a Native American warrior. Those are the colors, the team's color schemes. And the guy didn't even say that the other side of the face was red.
Well, that's the problem is to this Carron J. Phillips. He doubled down upon getting the community notes when Elon Musk called him a racist and a deceptive liar. He still decided to put out another note on X saying, you know, even if you saw that his other side of his face was red, this is still just as bad, if not worse, because you're also now like somebody who says that they hate Hispanics, but then wears a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo. I have no idea what that means.
Well, how does he know people that were defending this kid hate Hispanics? No one hates Hispanics. And what's wrong with wearing a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo?
Listen, Carron Phillips is nothing but a race-baiting hack. You already mentioned several of the examples of his lengthy track record. Even last year, calling white people white supremacists because, in his words, they were watching an NBA game while blacks were being murdered in the street. This is exactly his MO. He is looking to incite people, and unfortunately, in this situation, it completely worked. We had another well-known idiot also chime in with Dan Le Batard saying,
sombrero thing on Cinco de Mayo. You know, I love Hispanic people. I like Mexican food. As a matter of fact, my favorite Mexican food is choripollo. My second would be enchiladas. I also love camarones a la diablo. I know I'm running off a lot of Tex-Mex foods here. Tacos, burritos. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. When I go to Taco Bell, I typically tend to order soft shell tacos. I have a thing about my teeth. I don't like anything stuck in there. Though the hard shell tacos are pretty good. You know, cheese, beef, lettuce, salsa. I really like the Diablo and the fire sauce. I kind of like spicy stuff, but then again, after a while, as you get older, you have to kind of watch what you eat. So I'm kind of in a stage where I get to debate myself: do I eat spicier food now or no? Fact of the matter is simply this right here. I don't see where you get the logic of saying that these people, or the people who claim that they hate Hispanics or they hate Mexicans, but they wear a sombrero on Cinco de Mayo, even though Mr. Phillips probably doesn't even know the truth behind Cinco de Mayo. I don't personally prefer to wear the sombrero because I think the sombrero, while it's really, really cool looking, it's just too big and I don't feel good wearing it. I also think that that's like, hey, just go ahead and throw it out there too. Everybody goes through a phase, but when I don't see how you get that from this particular situation. Little boys just simply having face paint on to represent the team. I mean, it's completely stupid. I mean, Halloween costumes. You know, here's the real truth about the situation, because you see, these people think that they're really and truly affecting everyday people's lives. They're affecting people in the online world's lives. That right there is for damn sure. But and you'll hear me bring this up in the second video that I have listed for the day, that most people don't really and truly stay online all the time. They hear about somebody getting canceled, or they hear about a situation involving a child getting attacked over blackface, and they say, wait, what are you talking about? His face ain't black. It's got red there, too. Most people typically tend not to pay very much attention to the wokes themselves. And I really truly believe that that's where this entire thing comes from. It comes from a lack of attention. They keep screaming racist, and you got to be punished for your past. But still, at the same time, in reality, the truth be told is very simple. These people really and truly have no lives. That's the only reason why it is that they do this stuff. I mean, that is really and truly why it is they do what it is that they do. The people have absolutely no lives at all, and they feel the need to actually make everybody's life flat out misery, which is exactly what I got in this final little monologue.
Being a fan, but the racism is already in there, just not the kind that the right is picking up and flogging Deadspin with over a 5-year-old kid. Like, the stupidity of this is remarkable.
It feels like we're in the Vegas residency phase of racism.
And that guy, Dan Le Batard, who accused the 9-year-old of racism, wore the exact same face paint on his face last year. There he is. That's how ridiculous this story is. And the blackface hoax gets even more ridiculous the more we learn. Here's the 9-year-old Chiefs fan posing with the Raiders cheerleaders. Do any of them look like they think he's racist? I only see smiling faces. And when the young fans started a tomahawk chop, the Chiefs players joined in. I'm just having such a hard time keeping track of all this racism. But it gets even more ridiculous. The mother of the young fan is saying her son is Native American. It turns out Holden Armenta, the 9-year-old getting slandered, has Native American blood. His family lineage, the Chumash tribe. They hail from California, an ancient people with a rich history on the Pacific coast. Holden and his family used to live on the Chumash reservation. So if anyone's entitled to paint their face and wear a headdress to a Chiefs game,
Donald Trump outfits will be banned on Halloween. Soon, Native American outfits will be banned on Halloween. Also, Santa Claus, that right there eventually will be banned too. You see, the thing is this right here, and you'll definitely see this in the next video because it has a lot to do with Rockefeller Center. The thing that you have to understand is that we have traditions. We've had traditions for a very long time, and of course, those traditions also wrap up in holidays, movie characters, things of that such there. The wokes are hell-bent on destroying this because their worldview has been completely warped. I've talked about this before, and I'll do it again next year in a video essay format, showing you guys why it is that for the most part, it is in fact mental illness. It's not just satanic, it's mental illness. It's almost as to say the devil has gotten inside them and is controlling their mental illness. Obviously not for good, but definitely for bad. This is who these people really and truly are. And this right here is just further proof of who the hell these people are. Now, you got to ask them a question. Do you want to deal with these people for the rest of your life, or do you want to move on? Well, here's the thing. You can deal with these people by simply moving on. You see, go back to what I said before. These people, the infected, they simply want attention. That's who these people really and truly are. This entire story that Mr. Phillips did, and I understand he's got a history of it, as Charlie mentioned earlier, about what happened with Buffalo, the Buffalo shooting, and of course blaming white people for watching a basketball game the next day. By the way, he also pointed his guns at every single black person that was on the Boston Celtics too. The thing is this right here. These people live to try to get some form of attention. This is who these people are. In the online world, they care more about clicks. Now, like I said before, you know, when you have a situation where everything is online, obviously you're looking for the next big thing. You're looking for the next story. This right here really wasn't a story. This right here was just some Karen, some very, very effeminate male who wanted to scream racism the first chance he got. So what he probably did was he looked at the camera from CBS, saw that, took a picture, took a photo, whatever, got a screenshot, whatever he did, said, this right here is racism. Look at the appropriating blackface, when everybody in the stadium has got face paint on. So you mean to tell me you couldn't have picked any one of them, so you chose to pick a child? Fact of the matter is, this guy right here did this right for clicks and views. He then shut off the conversation, blocked any comments from anybody being able to answer his post. And as a result of this, what's happened is that people can kind of see that this guy sold himself out for clicks, and he'll more than likely lose his job. And as of now, just may cost his entire company their share and their overall revenue. Which then brings me to Kyle Rittenhouse, is where I'm going to end this video at. I know I said I was going to mention it, and I know it took a very long time to get to it, but I want to go ahead and mention this now. A lot of people don't know this, but Kyle is actually writing a book. Apparently what's happened is that they're broke. They're broke at this moment in time, and he's trying to get this book out. It's called Acquitted. You can get it on Amazon. It ain't like $10, but I checked it out earlier today. I didn't buy it or anything. I don't know, because I do plan on doing a video essay talking about that situation. But the thing is this right here. He's been in a situation where he hasn't had any money, and he's been getting attacked online for basically nobody wanted to have anything to do with him. Colleges, jobs, all that stuff there, but yet the kid didn't have any money before the incident. He didn't have any money after the incident, so what does he do? He wins his court case. He spent a bunch of money, so obviously you're in a hole due to legal defenses, because if he hadn't brought his lawyer in, they would have eventually locked him up. Of course, the judge should have dismissed the crap outright. But the thing is this right here. He didn't have any money to begin with, so when people were sitting here making fun of him about not having any money and being broke, but yet he just published a book, I think to myself, wow, this book is going to get him enough money to take care of his family, at least in the short term, and pay for the legal bills that he's about to have going through the process of suing MSNBC and all those other woke news networks that straight up defamed him. So just figure I'd go ahead and let you guys know that at the end of the day, this is all about attention. And of course, these people are about to get burned. With that right there being said, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sound off in the comment section. I would love to get you guys' thoughts on this, and I'll see you guys later.